This is my Surron Light BX, and at the time of buying was the cheapest in the UK. So far we've stripped it apart, we've sanded it down, we've painted it, and in this video we're going to be rebuilding it, starting from the front, working backwards, getting all the frame put back together. Along the way we're going to be replacing some of the bearings, and then we can get onto the good stuff like the upgrades, the wheels, the controller, things like that. So let's not mess around, jump straight into it and get this thing rebuilt.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, 다들 하지 뻔한 이야기, her brain fried. My lady papa Zenny, other lady popping Molly, why she waiting on me? 여기 나의 area, 여기 my area. Keep on heading if you want, I drive it like you know. I don't wanna hear you, 지겹잖아 이제 넌 like I'm Bango, cutting my hair. I just keep going though, 소신껏 날 믿고 I fly non-stop, Kelly에서 New York 구름 위로 hop on, drive out and riding birds, honeyberry counting gobs. I do what I wanna do, 그게 나의 무늬원. 너넨 꿈꾸지 말만 많지, just do it like Nike, just do it. Get to know me and I 내 flow가 잡은 눈이 분위기는 chill. Fendi snakes on my barrel, yeah I'm feeling first class. Yo, 이런 cash flow, ooh pop it on my glass, ooh pop that pass, ooh smoke that gas, cash play, blackjack, monkeys on my pick. 100, 200, multiply, dollar sound, smile, lullaby.
So I'm just about to fit the swing arm back onto the bike, and I have made a major fuck up. As I said previously that I'd left some of the bearings and some of the bolts in the framework because I plan on replacing them. What I didn't take into consideration is how long that these bearings have been in this bike for. I don't think they've ever been replaced, and they are absolutely welded to the frame, and I cannot get them off for love nor money. I've changed bearings on my previous bike. They've pretty much slipped out as easy as anything. I've tried absolutely everything to get these bearings out the swing arm, and I'm just having no luck whatsoever. I've now resorted to the fact that I'm going to have to blowtorch the frame to try and heat it up as much as it can, where the frame's a lot softer than the steel bearings inside. Hopefully that should expand a little bit quicker, allow me then to knock the bearing out. But this is kind of last chance saloon. I've literally tried drilling them out, hammering them out, lubricating them to see if they'll just ease and freeze slightly to be able to smack them out, but nothing at all is working so far. So we've got a blowtorch. We're going to have to try and blowtorch a frame. This is the one thing I wanted to try and avoid because I obviously sprayed the frame, as you've seen. The frame's absolutely immaculate. I'm so happy with that paintwork. I've got to the point where I've been smashing this frame so hard in different positions trying to get these bearings out that I'm now starting to damage the frame. So I'm kind of at a bit of a lost cause now. So blowtorching the frame's not going to do the paint any good. I think I've just come to the realisation now that the frame's just going to get damaged no matter what. So let's try and blowtorch the frame, heat it up, get these bearings out, and then I'm going to have to go through that process again of spraying the rear swing arm. It is what it is. And thank God for that, we managed to get those bearings out. So luckily enough, the new bearings arrived just in time. So here I am trying to put these in. This was the way that I installed the bearings on my old Surron. For whatever reason, this time around, it didn't go to plan. So if you are trying to put bearings into your swing arm, don't do it this way. What I found a lot easier is popping them inside a vise, putting one bearing in at a time and then just squeezing it into place. This worked really, really well. It took literally seconds to get done. So with the new bearings all in, it's time just to pop the swing arm back onto the main frame of the bike. Again, this was super easy. There's nothing attached to the swing arm, so it's super light. So it's just popping it into place and then inserting the bolt all the way through. It's now time to move on to the rear suspension. So this is the rear triangle that came off the bike. I did actually have a spare one laying around from my old build. I've actually replaced the one on my other bike. So I had this one spare and I know it's in better condition, so I thought I'd throw this on. This goes the same with this shock as well. This is one that came off the bike, but having replaced the suspension on my other Surron, I had the stock KKE shock from my original Surron. I know this is in better condition, so I'm just thinking whilst I'm doing this, I may as well throw this on the bike as well. So I'm just going to get this all assembled now, and then we can get this installed onto the bike. So I am planning on replacing the front suspension on this bike. And you might be thinking, why are you not replacing the rear suspension? But to be honest with you, this is only going to be ridden on the road. So I just don't see the point in replacing it. The stock suspension is going to be plenty enough for the road. It's not like I'm going to be going on any sort of bumpy terrain or jumps or anything like that. It is literally going to be strictly road riding.
Gives me shivers like you. Oh, no one does it better.
So that's the main 3 parts of this bike all put back together with the rear suspension attached. I have got the front suspension on there with the front wheel. This was literally just to balance the bike out whilst I work on it. Obviously, I have to replace these wheels. As you can see here, this is the rear wheel. The brake rotors are just absolutely rusted to pieces. I'll show you later on, maybe in this video or maybe in the next, the condition of how warped and bent these rotors are. Again, this bike is going to be strictly used for road riding, so I don't need these big old knobbly tyres on there. And also, it's just a great excuse to go out and buy a new set of wheels. So let me introduce the new wheel setup. And here they are. Probably the biggest thing that I'm most excited about on this build are the new 16-inch Supermoto wheels from WGT Racing. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek here of the wheels, but I want to do a full-on feature on another video of these wheels because they're just unreal. I've gone for black on black, so black spokes, black nipples, black hubs. I just think they look absolutely awesome. But what I need to do next is get some disc brakes on here because like you saw, the old ones are just completely shot to pieces. So I did have some old brakes that I had laying around from the old build, so I'm going to throw these on for the time being. I may eventually upgrade these to black on black, but these will do for now. So let's get these installed and then I can get the wheels on the bike and we can take a look of how this thing is progressing. So that's the wheels all built up. So obviously we now need to throw this onto a front set of forks to get this bike sorted. So I've gone for the Reflosa front suspension yet again. I have this on my other build. Super impressed with these forks. I think value for money, I just don't think you can beat them. So I will go into a lot more detail in another video of all these parts that I'm putting on this bike. For the moment, I just want this video to be about getting this bike rebuilt. So first things first, let's get the crowns taken off the suspension stanchions. Let's get a new bearing put on. We can get this then attached to the bike, put the stanchions in, get the front wheel on, and move on to the next bit. So I'm just going to grease up the new head tube bearing. You see me do this in 1,000 videos, so it's a really quick and simple thing to do, but super important. You need your bearings to be nice and greased and lubed. So let's get it greased up and get it on the head tube. We are finally getting there, boys. Wheels are on, frameworks all attached, rear suspension, front suspension, and we are ready to get motor in, new controller, and get this thing fully built. So that's all we've got time for in this episode, but like I said, stay tuned for the next one because we're going to get the motor back in and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on some of these upgrades that I'm putting on, especially the wheels and the controller, which I've had in the box next to me whilst I've been working on the bike. So I cannot wait to get that thing installed because the amount of accessories that it comes with it as well and value for money, I think it's probably one of the best controllers out there at the moment. So stay tuned for that one. If you've liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.